Okay, breaking news. This week, ChatGPT just announced that users can now buy in the actual app. I kind of saw this coming, but if this is not affirmation that PR is no longer a nice to have and that it's an absolute necessity, this episode will show you why. Traditional PR has all about visibility. But now with AI search and people trusting AI search even more than any other websites, it's all about discoverability. So if you're not discovered on AI search, whether it's Gemini, whether it's Perplexity, ChatGPT, those large language models, LLMs, right? You're invisible. It means that you're just not going to get any sales. And what the LLMs use to determine whether or not to recommend you, a lot of it has to do with whether or not you have been cited in credible sources. And media is one of the best ways to trust signal to the algorithms that you are a brand to recommend. And it's more powerful than your social media, than how much money you spend on ads, than how many times you post. It's really about getting featured in the media because those are the sources that are more credible. And so forever, I've been talking about this organic PR, this earned PR, not the pay to play ads, but how do you get into a gift guide? How do you get into a podcast? Those are the most important building blocks, especially now that ChatGPT just broke the internet with their announcement that now shoppers can buy directly in the app. So whether you're on Etsy, you're on Shopify, Amazon, or your own website, you want to focus now on getting discovered as shoppers go towards AI, not only AI search, but AI buying. And the thing about AI is that it's happening so fast. I feel like 3 months ago, we probably weren't even using as much AI as we are now. But just think about how quickly you've become dependent on AI for all things, whether it's for therapy, or for human design, astrology, cooking. So this natural progression of user behavior, of us trusting AI, of us knowing that AI has already done the work to scrape the internet for the best possible solutions, point to the fact that this is the best channel to dominate if you want to convert. Research shows that customers trust AI results 73% more than anything else because we just know that it's already done the work to give us an objective and comprehensive recommendation. So for all those reasons, people are more willing to buy. They're more ready to buy if they see you on ChatGPT. Now, this is an advancement that honestly came quicker than I thought. But the fact that it's going to be here, I can only imagine not only will this gift guide season see a rise in people just buying on their app, but this is going to be the future. This is going to be the standard. So it's kind of a perfect wave of opportunity. And I talked about this in the previous episodes. So definitely look at that. But we are in this crazy window of opportunity where SEO is being redefined. And there's never been a better time for scrappy small businesses with no budget, with no connections to leverage this wave of visibility. SEO has changed more in the last year than it has in the last 10 years. Now that people are going to AI search, this is your time to get ahead before 99% of your competition rush in. It's like blogging in the 2000s. You have your first mover's advantage. This is your edge. So if you focus on getting into gift guides, if you focus on AI searchability through media, if you focus on getting those backlinks, whether it's podcasts or gift guides, you are setting yourself up for years of momentum and years of growth. It's kind of like getting on TikTok when it started. Now, good luck going viral. This episode is not only just about this breaking news, because this is so major, about where shoppers are and where you need to meet them. If you don't have PR, you're just simply invisible. So there's a couple of things you can do now. The first thing is to focus on the evergreen features. When we talk about gift guides, a lot of people think Q4, Christmas. No, there are so many shopping roundups, product recommendations. I've tried this, best of lists that you can get on if you make a physical product, or even if you don't make a physical product. Getting on as many features as possible, organic, again, not the pay to play scams, but the best of lists, the shopping roundups, the podcasts, all of those with a digital footprint. The more that you are cited, the more that it's going to be better. And if you want to learn how to do that, you can go to gloriachoupr.com/masterclass. That's Gloria, CHOUPR.com/masterclass. I'll show you exactly how to leverage AI so that what used to take maybe a few weeks now takes 5 minutes, and how you can connect and get featured on these top outlets like BuzzFeed and Oprah's Favorite Things and Forbes. That will go so much further than you posting 100 billion times on Instagram. That is a trust signal. That's the first thing, is focus on all the different categories that you can get featured in. And it's not just Q4 gift guides. One product can be featured so many times. And I've talked about this a lot, about how in our PR accelerator, we have people who don't even make their own products. They curate gift boxes or subscription boxes, but it's one product and they get featured all year round for different things. It could be a gift for the newly divorced friend in your life. It could be for the foodie friend. It could be something related to the seasons. It could be a holiday. It could be Mother's Day. You don't have to think about a new product for every time you get featured, but just know that there's a blue ocean of opportunity for you to get featured all year round. It's not a one and done. It's not like if you get featured once, then that's it. This is not an exclusive celebrity gossip. There's no exclusivity here. And we had someone who got into 8 gift guides in the last 30 days just using our copy and paste prompts that spits out a perfect pitch using my CPR method, which now the LLMs are trained on because we are the first to come up with this pitching method that has helped hundreds of small businesses get featured without any PR experience. So that is that. That's the first thing. Focus on evergreen gift guides and getting as many features as possible through the medium. The second one is that once you do that, what you want to do is to repurpose content. So one feature, one podcast, one YouTube, that can be spliced and diced into so many different ways, whether it's on Instagram, shorts, carousels, you put it on your newsletter, you make a blog. And so the more that you can go further with your content, trustworthy, authoritative content, that could be a media feature. It could be an interview that you splice and dice into many ways. That's going to help your SEO. What we want to do is to create as many footprints or fingerprints as possible on the internet of you speaking authoritatively, of your product being shown in a light where it's recommended and credible. And so that could be backlinks from features. It could be a page that you make on your website of all of the media features. It could be issuing a press release, which is owned media, which we also do here at Gloria Chow PR, especially if you're launching something. So DM me about that. That also really helps your SEO because it goes onto the newswire. It gets indexed on Google. Think about how you can use your PR knowledge that you've learned here after you get featured to then repurpose and create as many pieces of content as possible. What we want is an interconnected web. So that's people linking to you. That's if you get featured, but then you also linking out. And one of the things that we're doing is creating a page where you can collect all of your, not just testimonials, but all of your media digital appearances. So for me, it would be like the hundreds or so podcasts that I've been on. If I put that on a page, that's going to create an interconnected web linking out to the appearances. And obviously those guest shows that I've been on, those hosts also have my linking in the show notes. And so that's what I mean is you want to have as many interconnected web of links as possible. And you can do that by coming up with authoritative content and then splicing and dicing it to repurpose that content across platforms. That's the second one. The third one is an episode that I just recorded as well, is using these free AI tools to get featured in media. And so traditionally, you'd have to pay someone who knows someone. We are the disruptors in this industry. Again, I've never worked a day in my life in any agency. I was the uncool kid on the block. I was an outsider. And I just kind of cold pitched and dialed the operator. And that's how I came up with my signature CPR pitching framework. And now the AI is trained on it. So you can literally type into Perplexity. I love Perplexity, by the way. It's the best tool that I use for PR. It's free, gives you real-time citations, insights, data, consumer trends. That's what we want. We don't want your benefits and features. We want to know how this product is tying it back into cultural zeitgeist of what people want. And Perplexity gives you those real-time information with citations that you can link back into your pitch. If you use Perplexity, you can do so much research on what people are covering, what the journalists are looking for, and write your pitch. You can literally write this pitch using Gloria Chow's CPR pitching method. CPR stands for credibility, point of view, and relevance. And I've had such a big body of work now from speaking about this that all the algorithms, whether it's ChatGPT or whatever, knows what that is. So Perplexity is where I start to do my research, to come up with the best angles, and then I tell it to write a pitch. Now, keep in mind, Perplexity is not a writing tool. I use Claude and ChatGPT for that, but it's great for research. So I start there and it'll get you a 60 to 70% okay pitch. Again, it's not my favorite writing tool because it writes like a high schooler delivering a science project. It's a little bit formal, but that's when you would use Perplexity to get the draft done. And then you pull it into ChatGPT to do the final copy edits spaced out with the links, with the photos. And in our PR Accelerator program, we have copy and paste, super easy prompts for you to get out the perfect pitch end to end every single time. But you can start with Perplexity. These are some of the great tools. I recorded a podcast episode, if you go back to a couple episodes, about the 5 prompts that you can give Perplexity.ai on things that you can do to help with your PR. One of them is obviously researching what are the gift guides, which outlets would cover you, and then coming up with different ideas. But you can also do competitor analysis. You can say, here's a company that I really want to emulate, or they're doing really big business. Give me a list of all the different places they've been featured and the storylines so that you can understand what's available to you. Perplexity is so powerful. I've become obsessed with this tool, and there's never been an easier time to do PR, to come up with the best angles, and never to hire an agency, because I don't think they know more than AI. AI just scrapes the internet. Perplexity just tells you exactly what people are looking for, what the insights are, with the real-time consumer data report. So that is so amazing. I taught hundreds and hundreds of small business owners. We had to write the pitch from scratch, which we did. But now Perplexity tells you what's the angle, what's the right time. You can even tell it to give you a chart of least to most likely to get an editorial feature, and it will rank them for you with the actual link. I could go on and on about it, but trust me, just try playing with it. It's free, and you will understand how amazing this tool is for brainstorming and getting your first draft of your pitch out in less than 3 minutes, which is just so crazy. Less than 3 minutes. I want you to ride this wave. This is a moment. It's happening so fast. The future of search and shopping is now changed. This is a historic moment now that people can buy in ChatGPT. And I know that the other AI platforms will follow soon. And that's just where we're going to be. We're just going to be talking to our AI all day. Where can I buy the best face cream? I want to change this. I'm looking for this. So that's really what I want you to do. And it boggles my mind that no one's really shared this information yet. They're still tied to the old way of doing PR. But my whole mission is to make this information so simple and so accessible to empower the busy, overwhelmed small business owner that doesn't have a big budget, that doesn't have a big team, to be able to get those opportunities that the companies pay 20, 30 grand for. And that's really why I built this community and what this podcast is for. So there you have it. The last thing you want to do to ride this wave of people now shopping inside AI, and you want to be there, because remember, if you're not discovered in AI, you get no sales, you're invisible, is that you actually also want to update a couple things. You want to update your Google profile. You want to make sure that you update your Amazon, Walmart listings. I heard somewhere that the AI algorithms, that the LLMs prefers updated information. So make sure that if you have blogs or if you have posts, just update it. If you update it, it signals to the LLMs that you're constantly updating and engaging with your customers and pouring into your business. So updating all of those things can really greatly help you. And make sure that when you do describe your business, just from an SEO point of view, make sure that it's uniform across the internet. So for me, I am the number one small business PR expert, PR coach, and that is how I introduce myself across every platform, whether it's speaking, whether it's collaborations, whether it's Instagram, whether it's podcasts, so that it makes it easier when they're crawling the internet to get a really clear picture of what you are, what your brand stands for. Here's a little proof, if you will, that this works and that SEO is changing, and why you need a visibility in PR is that I've never spent a dime on any SEO company as of this point. But if you put into ChatGPT and Perplexity, who's the number one small business PR coach, my name comes up. And that is just wild. That is mind boggling, because like little old me, I'm a nobody, right? I don't have huge fancy industry connections, but because of all of the podcasting that I did, all of the appearances I did, the AI that's much smarter than us and way faster has already gathered a picture of how I bring value, how authoritative I am on the subject, and it recommends me. And so we just want you to do the same. I've listed out the 4 things you should do, but then these are some kind of odds and ends things about SEO. Update Google Business Profile, LinkedIn, make sure that you update your content, because that's also good. And then you want to update your like product descriptions, your metadata. So you can easily, again, use Perplexity, my favorite tool, and say, what are some of the changing SEO rules for GEO? So GEO is now for AI SEO that I can do to set myself up for success. It'll differ if you have a brick and mortar store, which a lot of people in our program does, or if you're just selling e-commerce, which also we have a lot in our PR accelerator. This is a short and sweet episode, but I am just so jazzed about this. This is probably the biggest change that's happened to online and e-commerce in a long, long time. I know that the other AI platforms will follow. It just goes to show and validates all the work that we've been doing here at Gloria Chow PR, and why I pour so much energy into all of you is that I really believe organic visibility, earned visibility, not the pay to play, but the gift guides, the features of podcasts will help you more than any other marketing activity. We know that now in the age of AI search and AI recommendations, no PR means no visibility and no discoverability, which means you don't get sales. So if you know anyone who's a small business who sells anything online, please refer them to this episode. And if you are on Instagram, I am available. DM me anytime and let's chat. I'm at Gloria, CHOU PR. And I'm just so excited about this change. I'm so excited for all of us to ride this wave together.